This is the Friday, March 14th, 2014 version of the Market Plus segment. Joining us now is Jamey Kohake. Jamey, welcome back.
Thank you, Mike.
Now, on the show, we didn't have a chance to talk cotton. It's been on a bit of a rally here over the past few weeks. Give us your thoughts. Where could this market, old crop cotton, be headed?
Old crop, I think there still could be some upside short term, but I think the market does need sold into. China's economy is very soft right now. That they're a big importer, just like they are in the grains of cotton. And so I think this is kind of a short-lived type deal that needs to be rewarded. I've even started out in the new crop with a few sales at 80. We banged the 80 mark 6 times in the last 2 weeks and just keep hitting it, coming off. So that's some pretty heavy resistance now. I think needs to be sold into. But you get sold in here, 30–40%, wait and see how the crop gets planted, probably see weather scare eventually down south with some dryness, hopefully push through 80 to finish the sales off.
All right. All right. Now, as we take a look on the show, we were talking wheat. And with the recent rally, no surprise, most of our questions tonight are concerned with wheat. And the big concern from folks all over the country is this tough winter and the dryness in the south. Is the market really taking that into consideration on this new crop wheat?
I think it has a little bit, not near the effect that a producer would like, obviously, or probably look at his back window and say, hey, we should be at 8 or 9 by now. But it's done a decent job. We've rallied $1.30 roughly. So I mean, there is a little bit of that. There's a little bit of Ukraine in the market, but they did take a beating last week. Like I said in the show, I mean, it looked like the Dirt Bowl last week down south.
You bet.
But I still like the 7:30 mark for December Chicago, and would like to be sold up in there.
And now, Mark in Enterprise, Kansas, and you're a Kansas boy. Things do look tough down there. Mark is curious. He's looking, looks like he's going to be a lot of dead wheat. Best advice, let it lay fallow over the summer, or is there another opportunity to get in there and
you maybe try come in and plant some beans behind it maybe. But remember, wheat is a weed, and it's known for having multiple lives. So I don't know what his crop looks like in person, but there's a chance. But yeah, I think you could come in and plant something behind it.
All right. Now, Tim in Crookston, Minnesota has a question that a lot of producers are dealing with, and it was one you touched on the show. We've seen a nice market on the board, but the basis in the Northern Plains, Tim mentions, has widened way out. He knows there's poor rail service, a lot of oil production. What can they be doing to capture better basis?
I don't think you can do anything right now but sell futures or buy options and sell calls or puts and or both against it to cheapen it up. But he's right, the basis is terrible right now. Just about full carry everywhere you look. You go further south, it does tighten up in some areas. Crushers aren't making any money for the beans. Rail service is terrible. Every car is pretty much for ethanol and oil right now, especially oil. Trains right now, if you wanted one, late April is a schedule. So I think futures and options are the only option right now until we see how the crop goes in the ground and see some weather this summer.
All right. All right. Now, how would you play that? How would you play an option strategy looking at a terrible basis situation with old crop wheat?
I'd come in and buy like a 470 or a 480 for corn, like a 480, 470 December corn put. Maybe sell like a $5.50 up to $6 strike against it. And maybe come in and sell like a 380 put where your crop insurance is. You got a free put down there and sell some puts down there and see what happens. That's what I would look at if I was going to trade options.
All right, and take advantage of that crop insurance. All right, now we got a question from Mangravy12 is curious, how much influence will the Ukraine continue to have on crude oil?
Longer term, it could be a big player. Germany gets about 9% of their energy from Russia. Big pipelines running through Ukraine. If Russia would want to shut those down or delay them or slow them down, whatever, they could. But I'm more concerned about China right now than I am with Russia playing games and doing something stupid over there. They're trying for a soft landing right now. Their shadow banking system is kind of all shook up. That's a $6 trillion business. They did $160 billion in January. In February, they did zero. So their economy is very, very shaky. It could affect our exports to them. It's already spilling over into Europe, into us. It's a big deflationary signal, in my opinion. It's something to watch out for if you do trade the equities hard or trade crude. It has pulled some money out of there, too.
Now, speaking of equities, where do you see the S&P headed?
I think there's plenty of downside here, especially if Europe and China do soften up, which I do expect. And if you're long, I would look to be taking some profits. We're in a 150-point rally since early February. So I'd be careful about chasing this thing here short term. It's had a little bit more of a setback.
All right. Now, Jamey, before we let you go, any trades out there this week that look especially good to you?
I would take a shot at the beans, July versus November at $1.75. That's a 50% retracement from where we came. I like selling, some December cattle for around $1.40 too. I think that's a decent idea to look at.
All right, and I guess we do have one question that I just skipped over. Rodney in Edgar, Wisconsin is asking, as we watch this fat cattle market, how high can this market go?
I mean, who knows? I mean, it depends on demand. Can boxes hold up? I think the boxes are very toppy, but if demand stays together, maybe we go to 160. I don't think so right now myself. I think if you get back to the futures get back to 150 here short term, I would be laying some off for sure.
Okay, because we have seen boxes February, just this last week, we're topping their January highs. I mean, we are in uncharted territory.
Yeah,
choice box beef
it's
level.
just been a wild ride there. And like I said on the show, the cutouts and the pork just ripping higher. But boxes did, I think, maybe start to signal a little bit of weakness this week. And, I think if we get back to the futures, I'm saying $1.48, I would take advantage of some hedging there for sure.
Now, would the cattle market be hit especially hard if we do see China begin to slow down?
I think all of it would be cattle, hogs, grains here shortly. Crushing margins aren't that great in China right now. We've seen them wash out on several cargoes with Brazil. So, it could slow us down real gradually, just put us into a big deflationary market longer term.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, Jamey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for all of your questions via Facebook and Twitter. Please continue to send them in, and we will continue to get expert analysis right to you. Thanks for watching, and have a great week.